well, we're not live, but you know what I mean. We're recording.
We're
and
live.
stuff.
Not for you, though. Not.
That's true. Yes, we're live, pre-recorded.
Hey, everybody, we're not live with you, but we're live with each other right now. It's a time paradox.
Yeah. It'd be kind of weird if we just did this solo and then just tried to match stuff up, like just have like some one-sided conversation with yourself.
We should do a live stream one day. That'd be fun. Yeah,
we should. Yeah, we'd probably get like maybe a dozen people on it too.
That's okay.
It'd be fun. No, I mean, I think that would be fun.
I enjoy live streams.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's plan it.
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, hey, you're joining us now, aren't you? Welcome back to another episode of the Space Tomatoes podcast. I'm one of your hosts,
and Havok. I'm LX. Welcome. Nice to have you.
Yeah, we got to fix that somehow. I don't know. I feel like we need some intro work there, you know? You spruce that up a little bit, make people feel like we actually know what we're doing.
Take some,
regardless of
take some lessons somewhere, newscasting lessons or something. I don't know.
No. First things first. Throw the directions away, then start working on stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's the only way to do.
Right? Trial by fire.
we had a pool ladder that went up that way. It was very scary. Let's put it that way.
Did anybody break any necks or arms or anything?
No, nobody got hurt on it, but man, it was like, yeah, you wanted to like, yeah, it was not good. It was so bad at one point we just pulled it out and we would just hop up onto the deck. You know what I mean? Kind of like one of those old, you're in the deep end of the pool and you just pull yourself up like that, just because it was so rickety. I had fallen over on it one time, but I fell into the pool, so no injury, no problem. But yeah, not good. Always follow the directions, gentlemen.
Right. Did you learn anything from that, or no? You still don't follow the directions?
I didn't put it together. I follow the directions. I am not that guy. Someone else in the family put it together, and I'll just leave that open to imagination. Alrighty. It wasn't my wife, though. I'll just say that.
You're not going to throw anybody under the bus, though. I get it.
No, I wouldn't do that at all.
Anybody I know? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Someone fairly local to you, actually. Yeah. So what are you guys up to today? What'd you get into?
Today? I'm doing this with you. Yeah, it's early.
The day's like halfway over.
The what?
It's 9 in the morning.
I know. It's late. Yeah, we did our usual we've been doing a morning walk. We've been doing it I don't know, like over a month now. We missed 2 days, so we've been doing pretty good. We're about to up our game a little bit and increase the time and or distance a little bit. We're getting close to 2 miles a day, which isn't, a whole terrible amount of, distance, but it's better than no distance at all, I would think.
It's awesome, actually. It probably puts you in the top, 20% of Americans as far as daily activity goes. Be honest. There's a lot of people get up, roll out of bed, sit in an office chair all day, go to the couch, sit down, and do nothing.
I enjoy it. I look forward to it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys have like a route
we do have a route.
Just kind of
Yeah, we don't have sidewalks in front of our house, but just down the street they have the sidewalk, so we walk into that little neighborhood and it's a little bit safer, I think, up on the sidewalk, trying not to get run over. Man, there's some idiots driving by in cars. Like, I don't know if they're not paying attention or they're blind or, I'm not really sure.
Have dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's,
something like that, I guess. I'm not really sure. And they're like, man, I guess I need to get like the flashing light on my forehead. And I mean, we're out in daylight. We're not like we're going in the dark. Yeah, and need the reflective safety vest, I guess. But
no, I'm gonna get you guys bicycle helmets with little yellow sirens on them.
Yeah, don't waste your money on that.
High vis walkers.
Right. But man, some people they just like cruise and pretty fast through these neighborhoods, residential neighborhoods. I guess they just don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think part of that is, I'm just going to throw this one out here. At least for me, the older I get, I turn more into that crotchety old man. Slow
Yeah, me too.
down, you
Stay off my
hooligans.
lawn.
Right? Yeah. I don't even have a lawn, but just stay off of it.
Man, I'm so speaking about lawns. I'm so tired of mowing. It's been raining pretty much every day, and so I barely get a week out of it. I'm just sick of it. I wish I didn't have to
You
mow,
just
but
put
I mean, I guess technically I don't have
well
to,
then
but
then don't start slowly and add in just perennial natural areas that are native to your
yeah, no,
area,
the code enforcement
right?
would
Like some.
come down on me and give me a citation.
Well, if it was nice, if it looked nice, they would be okay with it,
Yeah,
right?
I want like less maintenance, not more. So I'm good. I'm good on
But
mowing.
that's what I'm saying. If you choose certain plants, like say prickly pear, as long as it's kept not in a nice patch and isn't allowed to just fall in on itself and stuff, actually is a nice little thing. It's also
Oh,
food.
really?
You can eat it.
Never had it.
Oh yeah, it's really good. Nopales. Yeah. So you can plant that out front and take a piece of the yard, and now that's a prickly pear patch, and then you could put in like a native flowering bush species
Mm,
or something, and just kind of plan out a natural area. And the more you do that, the less lawn you have to worry about, and the more that stuff just once a year you go trim it back, and then it just grows for a year.
maybe.
And you won't have to water it if you choose native
Mm,
species, because as soon as I mean, at first you will, but once they're established, they're just going to do their own thing,
yeah.
and they'll
I don't really
grow.
water the grass. Some of these people, like on the walks, man, you can see the people that are, you can smell it too. The ones that are loaded down with the chemicals. As soon as you walk by in
Oh
the
yeah.
morning and they got the sprinklers going, all the time. If you want that, that golf course looking yard, they're paying for it one way or another.
Well, everyone is, right? I mean, at the end of the day, all that pesticide and
Mm,
herbicide, as well as the chemical fertilizers, those you know extremely high nitrogen fertilizers, all that stuff is just, I mean, it runs off, it off gases into the air, it runs off, there's overspray, and then you get in, Florida, right? Especially this time of year, every day, pretty much, right around 3 o'clock
right around three
sometimes,
o'clock. Yeah.
it, it's gonna freaking
Mm-hmm.
rain, and not a little bit. And so, you get some runoff, and next thing you know, that stuff's going down into the natural waterways and things like
Right.
that. Yeah, it's a nightmare,
Mm,
man. It's like, I have people all the time, man, what do you guys should do something with your lawn. I'm like, why? It's green, it looks great. When it's mowed,
yeah.
you let it grow, you can instantly tell, oh yeah, it's basically a
Yeah.
weed patch, but it's got like 18 different types of grasses.
Ours is the
you
same.
know.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
green. I don't know
yeah,
what it is. It's probably some grass in
right.
there. But
Yeah,
the front,
well,
so
I'm
yeah, I got
happy
a
with
little
it.
bagger mower that, a little Honda self-propelled deal. I bag it and I put it in the compost pile and it turns into soil eventually. So,
Yeah, you know what you guys should do is bring a couple of feed bags with you, 50-pound
mm,
sacks, and just stuff them with leaves when you're out there, because they'll all be fresh leaves
yeah.
falling. Throw the leaf mulch is awesome. I mean, really
We might
awesome.
take some of that clay back with us. We had our neighbor bring us a little bit. We put it in the raised beds, and that seemed to help. Retains the moisture pretty well.
Oh, it does. Yeah, if you can mix clay
Mm-hmm.
into your soil, it would be a huge
Yeah, he
benefit.
went up
Yep,
there. His wife
no
went up there. Her
question.
friend moved up there, and he actually. I was surprised he did it. I'm thankful. He brought a big Tupperware bucket back of it. I mean, it's nasty when it gets
Yeah,
wet. It's slimy and gets all over everything, but it mixes in. It's
it's fun
I
to play
guess.
in. It's squishy and
My wife was
yeah,
so
it's
excited. She was thrilled.
yeah. I mean, heck, I'll get the tractor out. We'll tear up a little area and get you some good old North Carolina
Mm, there you
hardback.
go. Oh man, that stuff. Talk
Yeah.
about hardpack. I didn't realize how I had to break it up with the little rake thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's tough
Mm-hmm.
stuff, man. It really is. Yeah, that's why we work so hard with that broad fork. We've got to break that stuff up and get organic material down there, or nothing you do will work, because that clay, just every time it gets wet, all it's basically sediment, right? Fine sediment, and it just you know
Right.
recompacts. And so you've got to like get a broad fork in there, which if anyone doesn't know what a broad fork is, you can look it up. But essentially it's a two-handled garden tool, and it's got handles on each side that, let's see if I can do this, stick straight up like this, right? And they're about shoulder width, maybe a little wider for, average adult male. And then on the bottom, it's got 4 or 5, sometimes 6, 7 tines, but they're not like little thin hay fork type tines. They're like that wide at the top, metal blades that come straight down, and they're about 18 inches long, I think, something like that. And it's heavy. So you lift it up and you step on it because it's got a crossbar. You can step your whole weight on top of it and hold the handles. And you do that, and then you pull back. And as you pull back, it lifts air pockets. And so we put hardwood mulch and some compost up on top. And then we broad fork, and that hardwood and some of the compost will fall down in the pockets when we're broad forking. And the idea is not to lift it and go all the way up. You're just trying to get it to lift up to create those air pockets, right? You're not trying to till the soil. And you do that along all your beds. And this is for ground planting. Obviously, in a raised bed, you may have this if you have a clay soil. You may still want to decompact every once in a while, but you could probably do that with a
Mm-hmm.
cultivator, really. But anyway, so you do this, and that starts breaking up that soil. But what we do is when we do plant something like a tree or anything else, with the soil we're adding into where we've dug out a hole, we always add clay into that for exactly that moisture
Right.
retention purpose, because that stuff will just, it literally, it'll hold on to moisture for days. So it's really a huge
We need
benefit.
that here because we do not have soil. We have sand. We don't really even have rocks. You guys have rocks and all that stuff in there, which I mean, I guess if you're trying to dig a hole for a swimming pool, it makes life difficult, or a fence post.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it does introduce a lot of
right.
minerals, right? Mineral content, which is important.
So we're trying to build the
It's like
soil
when,
down here. It's a long process for sure.
yeah, yeah. Go find some junk yard sales too, and grab clay
Mm,
pots. Smash those things up, and when you're doing stuff in the yard, just start, dig a little hole here, a little hole there, and just drop some clay,
right.
broken clay shards in there and stuff like that. That'll also start to help. That's that whole terra
Right.
preta. Your wife's, I'm sure, very familiar with that.
I've heard that. Yep. But what we are doing, I don't know. I don't think we've talked about that. The cardboard. So we get a bunch of heavy cardboard. Just from everybody has Amazon deliveries. So we actually, I found a place or a guy on Marketplace. They had just moved out and they had a ton of U-Haul boxes, like the really nice thick ones, for free. You just got to peel the tape off. So you lay them down, and then on top of that, we put the mulch. And like it lasts like a year, year and a half, and then it breaks down, and then we do it again, and it just everything kind of mixes in, and it's making soil. Because when you pull that stuff up, you could pull the cardboard up, before it breaks down, and you see worms and stuff which you'd never see before that.
Oh yeah.
So there's definitely
Oh yeah.
life in
Yeah.
there.
No, we do that exact same thing when we do a new patch
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, because the weed pressure here is
Right.
insane.
It also takes care of that
Right? I
part,
mean, you've
right?
seen. Yeah, so what we actually do, like, I'm a big fan of not
Mm-hmm.
tilling. I think tillage is bad in general, but we cannot. It's just, well, we're trying something different this year, but even then we still tilled. But we till first time, and that's it. And then we add in compost and mulch, or compost to the soil. We add all that and then till it in, and then we layer cardboard on top of it, because we know that there are weed seeds, and we're going to get Johnson grass, which has, very deep, large root balls. So you can take that stuff, whack it right off, and it'll grow through 18, 24
Is that
inches
the
of
same as
soil.
that torpedo grass we have? or is that something different?
It grows in
Oh, okay.
patches essentially, and it gets about 8-9 feet tall. If you don't,
Yeah.
you remember the side field when we tried to go
Right.
walking through it that one year, and the stuff's overhead. That's
All right.
Johnson grass.
You could maybe you can mow a little maze for us one year.
You could, yeah. Well, no, it's
Oh,
all
all
taken
right.
care of now. We've been keeping it nice and tight. Yeah. So, but yeah. So we till first. We add compost, right? Maybe some soil. Then we till, which puts all that organic material into the soil. It helps a little bit, and then we cover with cardboard, and then put in soil, compost, etc., and plant on that. And that right there seems to have been the best, one of the best ways we can do it. We actually just buy rolls of single sided cardboard that's
Okay.
plain, so we don't end up with as much glue, right? Not that I don't think there's enough glue in there to be problematic in the first place, but still, less is better, I think. And no ink, no
Mm.
ink at all, right? So that's what we do, and it also allows us to take a roll and just
It's
roll it
probably much
out
ever doing
over a
it that
large
way, right?
bed. Yeah, yeah. So, and it's not expensive for a big roll. I was gonna say, potty mouth, bad. It's not that bad for a big roll of cardboard, like 100 foot long roll. It's like $30 or something,
All right.
$40, or it was. I don't know what it is now.
Mm.
Uh, paper stuff might be impacted. The whole Canadian trade
Yeah.
war BS, but I thought it was worth it for us. But then, if we get big boxes, and there's very little ink and stuff like that, we use those too.
Yeah. I wouldn't get too
So
concerned about the potty mouth thing, especially after the last episode. You get a little fired up.
I
Yeah.
didn't I? Was that bad?
Yeah, maybe it's your call, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hopefully, it didn't
I mean, I
bother
could do it
anyone.
again.
But
I actually had somebody bring up to me that Palantir. The Palantir, is that what it is? Yeah, I had never heard about that
Palantir, yeah,
before, and now everybody's talking about it. Yeah, that's a code
yeah,
word. I can get you fired up.
it's bad news, man. I mean, honestly, if you really start to consider what's going on in our society today, the book
Mm.
1984 by George Orwell, that thing. I mean, we're not there.
I don't. We're pretty
You
close.
could you well you could argue we aren't, because there are protections that still exist. However, you can also sit there and look at those protections being eroded, having been eroded, and you can easily go, yeah, we are here. It's just a different form. Instead of a centralized totalitarian, technocracy, it's more of a decentralized one. And that's where the protection comes in. Like, you know, again, like we were talking about, the Ring cameras and Amazon, the Alexas, and these
Mm-hmm.
things of the world, they gain all that data through private companies voluntarily. So, I think in the Ring cameras, when you go and accept their terms of service, one of the things in there is, you allow us to just go ahead and, scrape your video just in case, if there's any kind of
Mm.
criminal activity or
Yeah.
request, right? Not a formal, we have a warrant, but here's a request for
Right.
data, right? So you sign up for it. So you could make the argument again that we're not there, but it's real easy to see that we are. It's just the way it's implemented is different. It's lots of little private companies that have created that centralized dystopian state, because the government is using those companies to do it, because they can't do it themselves. Well, they can, and they do, and Snowden revealed this, but you know, we can't do anything about that, because even though the Supreme Court came back and said, yes, this is likely unconstitutional, but it's classified, so we can't
And I'm
rule
sure
on it.
all of that stuff is in their terms and conditions. If that nobody reads that when you sign up by using this service, you consent to having all your information used by other third party people, but except they don't tell you who those third parties are.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. It's like the Facebook terms of
Oh,
service or
yeah.
whatever, right? Like, it's a
But they
black
all
hole.
have that.
It's so vague.
If you participate
Yeah,
in anything online, I'm pretty sure you've consented to something that you otherwise wouldn't have if you actually read it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Intentionally vague and broadly
Mm.
worded. It's standard legal BS. All that stuff. To be honest with you, and there was a push for it a long time ago. Say it was like 20 years ago or something. But all of that stuff should have to be put into plain language. Exactly what it means to the lay person should be laid
Mm.
out. And there was a push for that, and so I think they added summary stuff to bills
Oh,
and stuff
really?
like that, but they don't add
Mm.
everything. They when they do the summary, they only do the major talking points on a bill, etc. So it's just it's constant fuckery. You gotta love it, you know. It is. What are you gonna say about it, right? I mean, honestly, it's literally just fuckery. People like have nothing better to do with their time than just figure out ways to screw the populace. I mean, honestly, that's what you do.
See, friends, this is how you do it.
Mention
That's right.
Palantir, see?
I should have
Or
had the
government.
puppy and puppy talk and the farming farming talk.
Well, we
Kind of.
started off on the farming. You're the one that brought up the
I know.
the
I know.
weirdness.
I know
You wanted to
exactly what
see
I'm
what would
doing.
happen. Yeah, right? You're like, it's 9 a.m. Let's see how spun up we can get him.
Mm,
Like a
exactly.
top. It's very predictable. That's the good news about it, right?
Oh man, how's your coffee there?
No, it's absolutely wonderful. It's the same. You can't see it here. I'll show you guys just so you understand.
Is it black as night? Oh, look at that lid. Look at the staining on that lid.
That means it's
I
well
see that.
used. There's staining on the metal inside the cup too. If
Mmm.
you can see the rim of that, that's all stained. It's not shadow from the black liquid
Mm,
inside of it.
looks like what I drain out of the car when I change the oil.
Probably is. Probably is. It's my motor oil, and I happen to be one of those old 1950s internationals. If it's not smoking from burning oil, it ain't working
Right.
right.
I don't know. I've never picked up the coffee. I don't know if you want to call it a habit, but I've never really tried it.
I would say that's
You think
probably a
so?
good thing. Don't do it. Why would you want to start?
I don't know. Does that
See no
pep you up?
reason.
I guess it probably does, right?
Sure, it does. Yeah, but I think honestly, a lot of it's just
All right.
psychological. I mean, if you drink a bunch of it, but I don't drink a lot of coffee. Or, well, normally I don't. Lately, I've been chugging coffee,
Hmm.
which is not great, but work and work and stuff around work and stuff has been different in the last 6-12
Hmm.
months. Very
Okay.
different. And so yeah, I've been crutching on caffeine and
You don't work for
nicotine.
the post office, do you? Just asking for a friend. Oh, okay.
No, there are probably areas where the post office is more efficient than where I work, which that's I'm just kidding, but still, I mean, it's they're everywhere has their challenges, and we are no exception. So it's just one of those things. All in all, they treat us fairly okay,
I
I
mean, it's
suppose.
nice, just nice to
You
get
know,
a paycheck. Yeah, I would assume, right? So, I mean, it has its
yeah, yeah,
benefits. If
yeah, and I really do love what I do, right? And it's not about that. It's just companies do things that are important to their leadership for whatever purpose, and sometimes it's harder for us as the people down below to see the minutia of you know tracking and getting metrics being beneficial to our primary goal as our role in the position we're
mm,
in. Hopefully I said that in a vague and broadly worded enough
Sounds good to
manner.
me.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna cut all that part out, probably, right?
Yeah, I might. I don't know. Don't really want to disparage any
I
organizations.
didn't.
Although I didn't
I didn't
name
think you
any
disparaged
organizations.
anything, but I mean, everybody's entitled to, as long as you put that "in my opinion" at the end, you're all set, right?
In my opinion, yes, in
All
my
right.
opinion. But hey, I'm not. I'm not one of the smart guys, right? I don't create strategy or direction or anything like that. I'm a worker bee, and I enjoy being a worker bee. I really do. I
And you
like
get to
it.
come home to your farm, and I mean, you don't even have to go anywhere. So, I mean, that's nice most of the time.
We
Yeah.
don't have an office. Yeah, we don't have an office near me, but I have to go and go meet with customers and do stuff like that, and that's all good. So some travel, but a lot of it's local. Um, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I
Yep.
like that part. That's the fun part to me. That's the part I really enjoy. You know, mostly. I mean, every once in a while there are challenges with anything, right? But that's I enjoy it. I really, really do.
That's
I
good.
like it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's half
Yeah,
the battle right there.
yeah, yeah. That's the fun part. I get to play with toys.
Maybe you should get a job like with
So
tractors or something.
that would be nice. I really would like that. Yeah, I don't think I could stomach working for one of the particular
The green
organizations.
one or the orange one?
Green ones.
Or the red ones?
I
Is
just
the red ones still around?
red
All
ones are still
right.
around. Yeah, you
How
got
about the blue
Case
ones?
is red. Kubota is orange. Blue is New Holland, I
Yeah.
believe. They're all
Okay.
around. Oh yeah, New Holland's usually what we see around from New Holland around here is the big stuff, right? Nothing I would own. I don't need a combine. I don't need that heavy of equipment. And I don't have $1 million+ laying
Yeah, the
around to
things are
buy one.
expensive,
So
right? And they're complicated.
yeah,
Holy crap, they're
yeah, they are.
complicated.
There is a lot going on in there. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I had no
Hmm.
idea. Like, people think like farmers just get on a tractor and chug along. Man, them things are like, you gotta
Oh
have
yeah,
like a college degree to
even
run a
even
tractor almost.
even our little one, right? It takes a lot of getting used to and understanding how it functions, what it's capable of. And it's very very consumer friendly, I would say. But yeah, you get into one of those big ones, and yeah, it's a whole different
Mm,
ball game. Yeah. Fly-by-wire
right.
systems in them and stuff like that, computers, GPS control, multiple different, areas that you need to put power to at different times for different things. You've got a boom arm in a combine, you've got a lot going on, and not only that, they're expected when something breaks, for the most part, you can fix it, you know what I mean? Or at least identify what the problem is if you aren't capable of fixing
All
it,
right.
you know?
I would think
Yeah.
most
It's,
farmers that have been around a while are probably pretty handy with repairs and things, but I'm sure these new computer controlled things are much more complicated. That's where you get into a lot of the
well, yeah.
problems with them.
I'm saying like, there's, times when like something happens with the auger system in the combine. That's, you're going to need heavy equipment. You may know how to fix it, but you may also not have the
Right.
right equipment to fix it, right? Um, so stuff like that. But they have field services that come out, and you just like pop on the seal on one of those tires. That's no joke. That's not a like quick easy for the most part. And they're filled with water. Well, antifreeze
Yeah,
stuff.
tire service is something. So I this is back in the '90s. I had some dump trucks, and I always use the tire guy because it's heavy work, and man, like
Oh
so.
yeah.
I ran into this guy. He said, I got 10 tires. Like I'll sell them to you real cheap. I'll even help you put them on. I got the tools and stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll save some money, put them on myself. Holy crap! I was down for like a week after that. I'm
Mm.
like, forget it. Forget it.
Oh yeah,
It ain't
yeah,
worth
no,
it. And even back then, I
yeah,
think it was only like $50 a tire to like unmount and mount it. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Didn't really save anything, did
no.
you?
I mean,
Or
like you start thinking like, man, that's 10 tires. That's $500. And then like, dude, it's, I'm sure it's more now.
yeah,
I'm sure it's much more now.
or a full week of my time and pain for the next two
Yeah, dude, I was
weeks.
dying.
See how much per day is that worth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those calculations. Yeah, and when you're looking at like even our tractor, those rear
Mm-hmm.
tires, that's no joke. That is not a light little piece of
Even
material
just
there.
the impact gun, the 1 inch impact or 3/4, I think probably 1 inch, but that those things aren't light.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty cool when they came out and fixed mine.
Mm.
And they don't. They're yeah. It's an interesting process. It's pretty cool. We tried the ether trick with Bird.
You just didn't put enough on there.
I rewatched the video. That's exactly what happened. Well, I mean, that's part of it. The other part is, even if we had gotten the seal, the guy from, I want to say it's Whitley Automotive and Tire and some, they're in Marshville. Great folks. I wish I had their name because I'd plug them right now. And I'll come back to it at some point. But um, they didn't even like, when they came to put it back on, they had to take the tire all
All
the way
right.
off and then clean the
Yeah.
rim because the paint, some of it had started to
Mm-hmm.
chip. And so even if we had gotten a seal, it would have just been a matter of, hours, days,
Right.
minutes before it popped that seal again. So,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
you chickened out. Light it up.
Oh yeah, I stood back. Well, I've seen a tire pop before, and I don't want anything to do with that crap, dude. That is not cool. I was working at a gas station. They had a garage. I was in the box, right? The bulletproof booth box. But, my glass is going like this straight over the left-hand side if I'm facing towards the little slide
Mm-hmm.
out drawer. Uh, Left-hand side is facing into the bays in the garage. And a guy was doing something and he walked
Oh, you
away
forgot it on
with
there?
a tire thing on it, and it just boom, dude. I mean, it rocked the equipment that it was up on and everything. I mean, it
Oh, I
was
bet.
insane. That's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure.
Those big tires, they have those metal cages that they inflate them in, but like even when those things like that's a one-time use deal. When those things explode, they're done. It deforms them all out of shape, but I mean, it saves your life, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, yeah. Because that was. I mean, I was pretty. Yeah, it caught me
Mm.
off guard. Let's put it that way. I jumped.
I had that happen to me on a lawnmower tire, like a bigger, like a commercial riding mower. Put a little bit too much in it, and the bead blew off, and it was a little.
Oof. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's pretty sketchy. It's amazing how much pressure goes in there, and that it, kind of self seals in its own little
Right,
bead up against the metal. There's nothing like physically. I mean, there's pressure that's holding it, but there's nothing other than that, right? It's not like it's locked in a
right.
channel or anything like that. It's just pressure holding it
Mm.
up against there, which is it's pretty
Have you ever
insane,
used one
you
of
know.
those? The brand name's like a Cheetah, but one of those. It's a big air tank with a quick release valve to set the bead on the tires. Like you pull the valve real quick, and it shoots a
Oh,
blast of air in there.
I've seen him. The guy that came to do my tractor tire. That's
Oh,
how he
okay.
did mine. Yeah, he had a compressor that he filled
Yep.
a tank, and then the tank went, and then at a certain point he just went like this and went,
Oh yeah, like yeah, instantly. It's loud.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was pretty cool, but no, I've never used one. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
no. The,
sketchy.
the fun thing is, like you have the new guy. They're like, hey, take the Cheetah over there. You got to clean the nozzle. You just get a 5-gallon bucket of water and put it in there and release the valve.
No, you're wearing five
Pretty
gallons
much,
of
that's how that
water.
works. Yeah.
Oh man, got to take the bucket apart too.
Not
Maybe
really.
no, I don't know. Wow, that's insane. That would be funny. That's way
I
better
mean, it
than
won't hurt
yeah.
you. Just get you
It-
soaking wet and a little irritated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
do
that's
not
pretty
do
crazy.
workplace pranks at your work. You'll probably get fired. And things are changed a little bit these days, probably.
That's true. We used to get away with so much
Mm.
stuff. We used to just have shenanigans all the time.
I
Yeah.
never engaged in it because I didn't like it because these guys would go back and forth, and then the one guy like we had these lockers there, and he ended up with like grease in his boots, and like I'm like, dude, don't ever do that to me because
That's too
nah,
much.
that's too much.
That's too much.
And then like the one guy pissed off the mechanic, so he actually went out to his pickup truck. He had an old Ford Ranger, and he wired up the one of the spark plug wires. He took it right off the coil and wired up to the everything was metal back then. So like the ignition key. So when he goes to start his truck, every time he turned the key, he'd zap himself because the coil was wired directly to the ignition switch on this old Ford, right? So he's like, man, my truck keeps shocking me every time I go to start it. And he actually got it started. And of course, it's putting power through there. And then now you can't turn it off because, I mean, those things, they're like 30,000 volts or 100. I don't know what they are, but it's like hold on to a taser.
Yeah, it's got to be a good zap,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
And I'm like, man, I don't want no part of that stuff.
I mean, I've zapped myself with one before doing the old
Right.
starter trick with a long screwdriver, but my
Mm-hmm.
thumb was over the handle, and just yeah, that's hot. I mean, it's hot. Like it hurts
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Not good.
No, it's yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't advise anybody doing those pranks, especially now these days.
Yeah, I was in IT right early on my younger years. So I worked construction, but then I ended up going into IT. But we would do pranks on each other, but it was never like that bad. Like one guy, we ended up reinstalling his OS, but we used the Russian version.
Nice.
So everything's in Cyrillic, right? So he comes back and Control Alt Delete, and he logs on. He's like, "What did you guys do?" He ended up working like that for like I don't know 2 weeks. He's just like, yeah, whatever. It just made it work. I was like, dang. But yeah, and then another guy, he took 2 week vacation. We took a cubicle panel from storage, and we closed his cube door off, so it was all walled off. There's no entrance or exit to it,
Nice.
right? And then everyone would walk by and take post-it notes or little crumpled pieces of paper and throw them in there. And after the 2 weeks, is literally full. It's just full. He comes back, he goes walking to where his door is. He looks, and he's a tall guy, right? So he looks over his cube and he's like, hmm. Walks around the other side, jumps up over the wall, lands in the pile of paper, just kind of pushes everything away from the system and just worked like that.
Crazy. I mean, do people
Yeah,
still do stuff
we
like
did
that?
crazy stuff.
There's too much cameras and too much litigation going on.
Nah, yeah, no, I think you'd probably just be straight up fired for that kind of stuff nowadays. It was, a different time. This was at a big company too. It wasn't a small company. It was a very large company. So, nowadays, yeah, I'm pretty sure they just escort you
Nice.
out, period. Like, bye. But, whatever.
Oh, another one I could think of.
We had fun.
Yeah, that we did get in trouble for that one. I mean, I had no part in it. I just observed. But there was this. We were, it was
say
it was
that
a
again.
concrete company. So there's this one guy. He was just kind of a jerk. Nobody liked him. He was just unreasonably obnoxious to everyone. So I don't even know where they got. Some guy brought in so he was a driver. Concrete mixers. The trucks with the little spinning things on the back. Somebody brought in some bowling balls from home, and we threw them in the back of the truck. And when he started up his truck in them, he thought like the motor blew up or something because man, them things made some noise in the back of the truck rolling around back there. The boss was not happy about that.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody ratted anybody out. And then they never did find out who did it, but
Yeah, I mean, we used to do like what I just talked about. We did all kinds of silly stuff. I mean, we had these things called degaussing
Mm-hmm.
coils. Do you know what
Yeah.
that is? Yeah, okay, so big coil,
Yeah. You
electromagnetic
can, well, I
coil,
mean,
right?
in a smaller set, like, I know you can magnetize like screwdrivers and things and demagnetize them, but, or actually you can use that for
Oh yeah,
like, erasing, media, right? Like tapes and things.
we used it for well, we had a very rigid thing we had to do. So we would degauss hard drives
Okay.
when we pulled them back, and then we would open the tops and we'd pull the platters out. And we would pull the head units out of the case as well. Case would go in one thing, head units in another, and then all the platters would get taken over to this room, like a cinder block
Mm-hmm.
room, and there were hooks on the wall, and you just hung the platters, and then they bring a guy in to sandblast it. So they would sandblast the platters into fine little bits of
Really?
metal dust,
That's just to
ceramic
erase
dust.
all the data that was on them?
Yeah, and then after that, they would take the sand, and the sand went to a furnace. It was a shop involved with uh,
I figured, yeah,
governmental
something like that. High
agencies, et
security
cetera.
stuff.
So they were pretty
Mm.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, they would have like tech refreshes would come along with PCs, and we'd have to clean out all the cases and everything, and then we'd have to dump the cases and stuff, and even cards, graphics cards, sound cards, whatever we had, in dumpsters. And we were like, can we just grab some cases, because that, I mean, that's a
Right.
bit of money saved. And they were like, nope, no, no can do. And I was like, why? And they were like, yeah,
Hmm.
no, because case they, it's just one of those weird rules. If it goes into a facility like that, then it doesn't really
Yeah.
come out. You'll find all kinds of really old technology in some government offices because you can't pull it out, so they just add
I
on.
see.
Like you'll find 10 base 2 connections, uh, 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 now I'm losing my brain. Ring net, you'll find, or
I have
token
no
net
idea
stuff.
what any of that stuff is.
Yeah, okay. But you'll see, BNC connectors. Anyone that knows will know what I'm talking about. You'll see all of this stuff, and then you'll see, RJ45 and stuff for standard Ethernet as well. And it'll just be like a wall with like a bunch of different plates where someone's sitting. It's just over time they just add it because a cable goes in. You can't take a cable out,
Mm.
like just a cable, an Ethernet cable. Unless you have a special pass, which is a property removal pass, which is harder to come by. I had one,
Really?
but well, yeah, it was essential for
Oh,
what I
okay.
did, but even then, it's just that was an interesting thing. Yeah,
That sounds like an interesting gig to have. Yeah.
it was pretty fun. I've enjoyed my life in technology. I really have, for the most part. There's the technology, the working with stuff, all that kind of stuff has always been fun and interesting to me. There's never been a time where I was like, yeah, I really don't like this aspect of it. It's, usually other things that make it
What,
less
like
fun.
everybody and his brother saying,
But
"Hey, my computer don't work. Can you look at it for me?"
right, or did you forgot to file your TPS reports?
Oh, that paperwork.
Did you get the memo? I'll send you the memo. No, I got the memo. Oh, four people coming to you. Where's your TPS report? That's from a movie,
No,
Office
I've never
Space.
seen it.
So, oh, hilarious! If you've ever worked in a cubicle, that movie is, you'll love it. Yep.
I'll check it out. That and the, what's that other movie? Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, Conspiracy Theory with Mel
Hmm.
Gibson in it. Oh, that's a really really good movie. Really
I'll
good.
check that one out.
It's Yeah, it's pretty interesting too because well, yeah, we can watch it. I
Oh,
have
you
it.
do?
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
I'll go down to
yeah.
Blockbuster and rent it.
There you go.
Now we were
There you go.
just talking
You're
about
just gonna fly across over to Oregon
yeah,
or
there's
whatever.
one left, right?
Yeah, I think it's their headquarters in Oregon, and that's it.
Yeah. No, it came up the
Be
other
fun.
day as I guess AOL cut their dial up service
Mm-hmm.
finally.
Yeah.
I was surprised to learn that there was about 140,000 people still on dial up as of like 2023.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. You've got some rural people and probably some business users even that would just, use it for whatever, like QuickBooks or something like
Mm.
that. I don't need high speed internet. I don't need $100 and some odd monthly bill. I've got a phone line. I have to use it for my business. I can just dial up at the end of the day when we're closed, put the voicemail on, so it just routes everyone to voicemail, dial up, do my QuickBooks, and I'm done. I'm
I mean,
off the
what
internet.
percentage of
So
private individuals still have a landline, do you think? I wouldn't think it's very many.
it's not that I saw something on this, and I want to say it's like in the 20%
Mm.
range or something like that. Um, like we have one
Oh, you do?
because our internet at first was
Oh, okay.
DSL. So DSL is over a
Mm.
phone line. Yeah. So you'll find situations like that. A lot of rural areas where DSL is really the only option for anything resembling high speed, and that's not high
Do,
speed.
do you
It's
have a fax
really not.
machine? Oh,
No, I
okay.
do not. No, I won't have a fax machine
Really?
either.
Why not?
Yeah. Why would
I
I
don't
want a
know. I'm
fax
just
machine?
asking.
No, I
You
don't
didn't
want a
want
fax
cameras
machine. I
either,
don't
but
have one.
never say never.
Well, I want to find what's going on if there's anything with the chicken coop. So if someone wants to watch my chickens, hey man,
You know, you should. I
that's
seen a
it.
guy that
That's all you're going to
uh,
see is chickens. You're going to see chicken pen. You might catch a glimpse of our barn, but
there was a
that's
guy.
it.
It was probably like 10 years ago. He had a chicken cam. My father would told me about it. He's like, "Oh, this guy's got a chicken cam," and then he would have like you put a donation thing in. It's got a little automated feeder. So he was making money off people paying to feed the chickens. I thought it was a
Hey,
pretty clever
that's a
idea,
pretty
right?
cool idea.
Same idea. You
Yeah,
put 25 cents into one of them things and feed the goats at a petting zoo or something. Just
yeah.
the new
No, that's
the new
actually
way of
pretty
doing
cool.
it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I
Yeah,
like it. Drop some mealworms or
I can
something.
build it. Maybe you
Yeah,
can just help code it.
sure, sure. I'm not a web designer, but we'll figure it out. There's enough tools out there. We can make it
Mm,
work. I mean, we have a
we
website.
do.
Do you remember what it
Yeah,
is?
let's tell everybody what it is. I have
Okay,
no
go ahead.
idea. That,
Spacetomatoes.net.
that's what I
There's
was
really
gonna
not
guess it
that.
was.
Yeah, we guess. Yeah, and you can reach us at either Havok at spacetomatoes.net or LX at
Havoc spelled
spacetomatoes.net.
with a K.
It
HAVOK.
is with a K. H A V
And I'm
O
just the letter
K
LX.
K.
That's it.
It's difficult to
Yeah,
spell
two
his name.
letters.
LX. So, what do you guys got going on for the rest of the
My
day?
wife is with her cousin shopping, looking at new clothes. Her
Nice.
cousin's lost a bit of weight and looking for some clothes to fit. So they're up happily doing that while I am not, because I do not enjoy that kind of thing.
Oh, I have a
You
stain on my
do? I
shirt.
didn't even notice. Now that you pointed it out, everybody's going to notice. We're going to have to redo this whole
Well, I
thing.
know someone's gonna notice it like way back when, like 48 minutes ago.
Put like a
And
graphic
be
on
like,
there or
hey,
something, like blur it
look,
out.
we're matching
Oh
right
yeah,
now. We're
kinda.
literally
Looks like it.
matching right now.
Is
Yeah.
that green or is it black and just the lighting looks different? Oh,
No,
okay.
it's green. It's the same color. It's the exact. I don't know where it came from. I just
Carhartt.
got it. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I think my wife got it for Christmas or just got it or whatever. But it is literally like, yeah, put your arm up a little bit. No other one. There we go.
Nice. I
You could
was
probably
almost
say
going to wear
that's
the
that.
the backwards hat thing today to kind of copy you too, but yeah,
There you
I
go.
don't have a
There
nice
you go.
hat, so I said no. Well,
You
I
don't?
have one, but it's like a closed back hat, and it looked like a beanie. So I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you can't like pull the poof out
I
and like a
know.
little poof in front.
I mean, like the way I
That's
pull my
always
hair
fun.
back, it makes me look like I've got a big forehead. I think. I need to get a haircut. It's coming. All
November.
right.
Got you
Nice.
covered. Yeah. We're going to go to a place.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Tell them what you want. They'll trim up your schnizzle too.
They don't need to touch that.
Yeah. Just trim it up and make it look a little
I'll just do
nicer.
this. Look, just tuck it in.
No,
Yeah,
that
see?
doesn't work.
Fixed. Fixed. Look how easy that
The
was.
Amish Ninja.
It was no work at all on anybody's part.
Watch me hide my beard.
No, it's time for a haircut. It's been long enough. I'm just
Yeah. We're gonna go do that
all
in
right.
November.
Yeah, I was getting all ready for that. We're making plans, all kinds of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's less than 3 months away now. I'm excited. It's one of my favorite times of year. Maybe we can do another podcast.
We should. I'll bring all the crap with me.
Okay, bring your camera too. We'll try and get two cameras in there. We'll do multicam and stuff like that.
Is that like a multi-pass? Multicam.
Yeah, it's just where you have two different camera angles, so you can kind of switch camera angles and view either everyone in the room or whatever.
Nice.
We'll see. We'll try and set it up nice and as professionally as we can. But I think that'd be fun. We'll see who wants to do it. I don't know. I got 2 mics, so
I've got another couple mics. We got plenty. You've got a splitter with how many inputs you got on that thing?
I have 4 that I can use right now, but I can also jack in, if we wanted to, I could jack in my quad into one of them and have 8 monitors total. So almost everyone could be there. We can just rotate personnel in and out.
Whatever. I don't know. We'll see who signs up. Put the sign up sheet right outside your door there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll even try the camera thing. Get the little wireless ones and do something outside too. Ooh.
My wife was considering doing when or if this puppy thing comes along. I mean, we're thinking it probably will be. I'm not sure when, but to document the puppy or whatever, start making some videos.
I think it's a good idea. I do. I think people like that kind of stuff.
Those little handheld gimbals are pretty affordable now.
Yeah, and especially if you get some good antics in there,
I told her we'll just start with like a cell phone. I don't think we need to buy a purpose-built camera or anything.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It's probably what
camera phones are pretty decent these days.
They're really good, actually. I mean, there's a lot of people that have really good looking podcasts. That their camera is their phone.
Honestly, I mean, if they have like Apple iPhones aren't cheap, but for $1,000, you should be getting a good camera, right? It's probably better than these webcams, I would think, even though,
Yeah, they are really good. Yeah,
I mean, we're looking at the specs. I don't know how many megapixels the new iPhone is, but yeah, they're up there.
Oh yeah. No, they're really good. It's really more, it's less about that. It's with a camera you have a little bit more flexibility, and you can certainly get into pro mode and set that up in your phone, right? And then the bigger piece to me really is when it comes to audio, right? With the right kind of camera, you can put in XLR. They've got XLR inputs. You can put an XLR, mic or a shotgun mic on it and really dial in the audio. And to be honest with you, the audio is now the bigger challenge in the whole editing process.
Can you hook up one of those little lavalier or lapel mics to a phone? Probably, right? Probably Bluetooth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everything's coming down in price. It's getting fairly affordable, especially if you go a little bit off brand. But even like the road stuff is affordable enough.
It is, and those little wireless MEs, they run deals with those, or you'll see a deal with some of their like their little. They have smaller like roadcaster
Right.
stuff or whatever, cheaper stuff, and it'll all work well. And I'm actually I'm a pretty big fan of this roadcaster.
Yeah,
This
Rode makes
roadcaster
pretty
Pro
good
2.
stuff. I mean, when I was originally looking for a microphone several years ago, I was considering like the one you got, the Electro Voice there, they were just, a little bit out of my budget. So I decided to go with this one. I think it sounds pretty decent for, the price point that they hit. And, it's been several
No,
years and it
I
still
do
sounds
too.
pretty good to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got the Shure, which
This
one is
is
it?
the Rode NT1.
Oh, it is the
Yeah.
Rode. Okay. Yeah. No, that's brilliant. I
Yeah.
like it. I really like this one. I did some checking with the, this thing has a really, the range on it is really good. And it, I really like it. I like, it doesn't, yours sounds really
Yours
good
looks
too.
cool
And to
though.
be honest with you, yeah, yeah,
Gets a
it's
neat
got,
shock mount. I like the way, it looks.
it's pretty cool. I
Mm.
like it. Hello, Mr. Microphone. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
pretty cool. It is very susceptible though. Like yours doesn't seem to be as susceptible to this, right?
I think it's a
So
little bit
I
more
can't.
forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, mine on the other hand is kind of like if you're not talking into the microphone, it's not picking it up
Right.
correctly. But
Well, that one there,
you know,
yours is more professional level. I think that's pretty much the standard in the broadcast industry. I mean, it has been for years.
yeah, that or the
Yeah, those are
SM7B.
nice too.
Yeah, I don't like the sound profile on them. I did a lot of looking when we were going through all this, and I was watching stuff and like saw a few videos of people comparing them, right? Like sound professionals, and I would close my eyes, and this one just sounded. It sounded more natural all the way through. The Shure seemed to me like it kind of it muffled it a little bit, right? It takes and then when you look at the sound, the waveform, you can see that it's got a drop off in like the in certain ranges, whereas the EV is way more flat,
Right.
right? So you pick up everything from the low down all the way up to the high, and it really comes across the mic really
Yeah.
nicely. And so that's what made me end up. And in the beginning, I was dead set on the 7B, right?
Oh, you were okay.
SM7B, because I really was, because it's considered the
Mm.
standard. But then the more you look at it, if you look at it in the podcaster world, there's a lot of SM7B, a lot, predominant, I would say. But if you look in the broadcast world, I think there's more of the EV20s than there are SM7Bs. And I think part of that is that range, the ability to be. I mean, it's listed as you can use it for a kick drum,
Okay.
right? So it's got the range to be used as a kick drum mic as well as vocals, primary vocals even, right? So like singing.
Right. All I do know the SM7B. I guess Michael Jackson recorded Thriller with that one. That's all I really know.
Yeah, it's an amazing mic. It really is. It's got some features that I wish I had, but at the same time, I just like the sound. I like the sound of this one. I really do. It's weird. You can tell the difference if you use a different mic.
Oh,
You'll
absolutely.
notice.
No, if we were
Yeah.
here, we switched, we would probably both sound completely different.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
So it's an interesting thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Now everybody's bored to
Eventually,
death and they're like turning off.
they're like, "Oh yeah,
Microphone talk.
mics.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
very
thank you.
interested." Yeah. Well, you don't know though, because we're not live, so I can always just chop it up.
They just want to hear you drop the F-bomb about, governmental agencies and their overreach. That's what they're here for. Don't let them fool you.
That's just a day in the life. That's all that is, man. I just can't think of anything they've made better. in
Right.
general, So, like that old Milton Friedman quote, if you put the federal government in charge of the Sahara Desert, in 5 years there'd be a shortage of
Mm.
sand. And it's true. I have no doubt about that. They, in some way, it would happen. I don't know how. Like there's just endless amounts of sand, and oh, we're out. We got no more sand, guys. We figured out this one trick. We can use sand for debt,
Mm. And tax you on it somehow, I'm sure. Or double tax you on it.
right? Right? Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
next time we can
It's
go down the whole
God.
property tax route and get on that again. That fires me up every time I think about it.
It does. It's ridiculous that you would buy property, but that you're essentially you never own it. You just rent it
Right.
from the government. And that to me is a travesty. It's absolutely anti the principles, right, of the founding of this country. It's absolutely 100%.
I mean,
I think if any of them heard someone come along and say, yeah, you own it, but if you don't pay our tax every year, we'll just come take it from you, I think they would all be shooting,
the
honestly.
governor here in Florida is
All of
talking
them.
about putting it on the ballot to repeal the property tax, or maybe extending the homestead exemptions. I'm not really sure. I mean, but the money for the infrastructure has to come from somewhere. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't looked into it enough. I
Yeah.
don't know where it's going to come from, but I'm sure they're going to try to put their hand in your pocket somehow.
I would just say, honestly, look, first off, I'm not, taxation in general. Well, it's theft,
Mm.
right? It's just stealing. It's what it is. If anyone else did it, you wouldn't call it taxes. You would call it theft. Anyone, no matter how big the group was, how many people, how much they touted, how they are the authority, you would call it exactly what it is: theft. Even if they used it for stuff that you may agree with and stuff you don't agree with, you'd still call it theft. But for some reason, if you put on this magical uniform and go through a magic ceremony, all of a sudden it's no longer theft, it's taxation. It's totally cool. So, but and like you said, there are infrastructure needs, I guess, right? I think personally we I have a differing opinion on that, right? People will pay for what they need, period. They will. They'll pay for in one way or another, right? Example, and I love to use this one. Nobody from any agency manages the 300 yards of driveway that I have to upkeep. Nobody. Not one single person. But somehow it's still flat and you can still drive over it. You see where I'm
Mm.
going with this? So yeah, infrastructure is great. It's great for business. It's great for big business. It's great for things of that nature. It allows us to have things like Amazon as this conglomerate, semi monopoly on stuff, right? But is that really necessary, or is that just like, oh, we like this and it's cool? And would you fund it if it was coming directly out of your pocket to fund exactly that
Mm.
thing? Or would you be like, yeah, no, I can go to the local store, right?
I miss the
So,
local store, even though it slightly more expensive. I think it's probably worth it.
yeah,
I think my
yeah.
my opinion
Well,
is in the minority these days.
that's what drove our
Right.
economy, right? For the longest time, and we were very prosperous under that, I'm not going to say it's the corporations, because it's not. It has nothing to do with that. And a lot of people want to point to that, but it's not. Those corporations didn't get where they are without massive help from government. BMW comes in here and says, hey, we're going to, open up a plant. We're going to, maybe employ 10,000 employees, all told, all in. We will increase, the amount of jobs by 10,000. It's not all them, right? Maybe it is, but you've got other stuff. And so the state comes in and goes, oh, okay, well, you know what? We're going to need to build freeway off ramps and on ramps for you. We're going to put in a line that goes directly to your plant. So you can just drop the cars right on top of the rail and boom, they go shipping off. We're going to offer you basically tax exemptions to the point of no taxes. We're going to give you this property pretty much, and we're going to help you build all this infrastructure and get it all set up. Well, if that didn't exist, you see what I'm saying, right? And so,
but if it's BMW, the
you
repair
can't even
technicians will stay in business for a long time. If you know, you
right,
know. In my
right.
opinion,
Well, when you have to drop a transmission to change the oil filter, yeah. Uh, a buddy had one, and that was the case. I guess you had to loosen up the transmission and drop it a little bit to get to the oil filter. And I'm sure BMW folks have some tool or
BMWs are
something.
great cars as long as they're under warranty.
Right? Yeah, yeah. But so the same thing with Amazon, right? They didn't get there because they did all this. They got infrastructure incentives and were basically given the opportunity to grow and increase and become this conglomerate that they are. And if you look at any real industry, you'll see the same. It doesn't matter. So I don't blame the corporations, and I don't blame the consumers, right? Um, Although there's a hand in that as well. When people are like, hey, the local shop has it for 20, but I can get it on Amazon for, 12.
Right.
And you spend on Amazon, no business sitting there ordering from Amazon and being like, those corporations. You know what? STFU, put your money where your mouth is. Buy from the local store, buy it a little more expensive, and realize that you're putting that directly into your local economy for someone's family that runs that little
Right.
business, as opposed to Jeff Bezos' bottom line across, billions of whatever,
Well, I mean,
right?
he's got a,
So,
it's expensive sending celebrities into orbit or space or whatever on rocket ships. Dude, it's not cheap.
right,
So he's got to make his
right.
money.
Yeah. And again, no issue with that, but they wouldn't be where they are. They wouldn't have the reach, the power, or the wealth that they have without all of those government handouts and subsidies, etc. It wouldn't be possible, right? It just wouldn't. BMW would have never opened that plant if they would have had their own rail line and tie it in and get all the permits and all the stuff for a new rail line. We're talking, that's not small stuff, right? I mean, those heavy, heavy, heavy
Right.
trains, you know? So,
I can just make a note here: government surveillance, taxation. You have to keep those in.
yeah, ways to get me riled up. It doesn't take much, honestly. It really doesn't. It's such a ridiculous
Mm,
thing. Oh, and if anyone is interested, there's a really good movie out. It's called The Jones Plantation. And if you're interested in something that I think is actually a really well done movie, it's enjoyable to watch, and it basically does a parallel to a plantation back in the day, yes, with slaves, etc., and you our governmental system in general. And it's a really fascinating movie. So if you want to go check that out, it's
where can
The
you watch that
Jones
at?
Plantation. I believe you can get it on Amazon. You could get it on. Uh, uh, I think I know you can get it on Amazon. I don't think it's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure you can get it on Vudu or
The Jones
Fandango. It is
Plantation.
now.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, and you can also go to their website, The Jones Plantation, I think is the website. I'm not positive, but if you just do a search for The Jones Plantation
Mm,
movie, it should come right up. This is really well
all
done,
right.
I think. Very very much worth the watch.
Nice. Mm.
Yeah, and no status propaganda at all.
Maybe I'll check it out. I'm not a real
which
big
is a
movie
rarity.
person. Maybe I'll check it out.
I like it.
Cool.
I like it. Yeah. I've also got a bunch of gift cards, so maybe we'll do a little live session and a giveaway if we can figure out how to make that work and be random and all the good stuff.
Wow. Get the big time.
Yeah.
Everybody comes for a
Yeah.
giveaway. I even used to go on
Right.
those dragon stream things that the pocket gyms used to do for free crap. Everybody loves free crap.
Right. Who wants 100
Yeah, right.
rubies?
I got a couple of
Oh,
those. I got
join
a
in.
poster once and I don't know, some other garbage.
Yeah, man. No, I'm with you. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. I've got a few of them. We could do like
We just got to
3
figure out
of
the
them or
chat
something
thing
and
because
give them
we're
away.
like on multiple platforms. I know you'll tell everybody in a minute everything that we're on, but we're just on multiple platforms, and I don't know how you follow the chat and all those. Or you just tell everybody, hey, come to YouTube so we can chat with you.
Yeah, we probably just open it up live. I'll figure something out. I know there's a way you can do it so it streams to
Oh,
multiple
okay.
services.
That's beyond my
Then the thing will
technique or expertise. That's
technical
exactly what I was trying to
capability.
say.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and then we just need to find a willing victim to manage some of the chat stuff. I think maybe, or I can probably maybe take it on. But we'll figure something out. I think we'll do a
Somebody
live session.
to zap
But
all the Russian bots or whatever.
right, exactly. Zap the scams and spams. Oh, that stuff's so
It's
annoying.
everywhere.
And well, the worst part about that is, in my opinion, not that it occurs. The worst part about that is it's still occurring continuously. And the only reason it's still occurring continuously is because there's still people out there stupid enough to fall for this
I
crap.
see it
Because
every
if
day.
people just in general stopped falling for it, they wouldn't be doing it. They're like the mass emailers, right? They just blast it out to as many people, and then they get a couple of hooks, and next thing you know, they got someone, right? So, the best way to stop them, the absolute best, stop falling for that crap. Period. Just stop, right?
Yeah.
If you get a call or a text or an email from someone, your bank, a bank, freaking whatever, it doesn't matter. You've got your card. Flip it over. On the back is a number. You call that number and say, hey, I got this. And they'll tell you whether or not that's a legitimate and valid thing. Never, ever, 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 ever talk to anyone that calls you. Even when my bank calls me on fraud alert, I'm like, yeah, I don't know this number and I hear you and you want to validate my info, but I don't know you. I don't know this number. I'm not talking to you. So hang up. And then I flip my card over and I call the number on the back. Hey, is there really a problem? Oh, yes, that was our fraud team. Okay. Sorry, but I'm not going to give you information when you're the one initiating the phone call. No freaking
There's
way.
just too much of that stuff out there.
Now, if you get the text and it says, you blah, 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 and you reply yes if it was you or no, that's fine. But if you get a text saying, hey, we need you to verify, or hey, click this link, or any of that kind of crap, just freaking no. Just no. Just don't do it. Right? Stop being a victim.
I could give a 2-hour lesson on all the scams to avoid on the internet. I see them constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I see bunches of them. And some of them are meant to just lure you in so they can grab information from you. And there's all varying levels of them. They're not all just a direct scam. Some of them are information gathering so that they have a pool of information for another scam. It's like these surveys, oh, your birth month, your birthday, and this is your name. And next thing you know, you're sitting there, and then another survey, and it's like, oh, your first initial and your last initial, and this is your name, and you're like, ooh, I'm a potato head, and what you're doing is you're just basically giving people, hey, we know what your first name starts with, your last name starts with, we know your birthday, we know, you know what I mean? And you've just given this to find out if you're a potato. or
I
something.
mean, I've seen
What kind of
those
potato
things on
am I?
Facebook. Like I bet you can't remember your kindergarten teacher's name and your first pet's name. Oh,
And there are literally people
oh,
that will
Mrs.
answer that.
Brown and Puddles or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll put it right on there.
Never putting together, hey, my secret
Yeah.
questions. Those sound a lot like
I
these,
bet you
don't
can't
they?
remember your first car and what color it was. All of them,
Right?
they're all trying to just gather it. I'm sure they compile that stuff and do what with it. I don't
Oh yeah.
know. Or the one I've been
Well,
seeing
the
a
more
lot of is
information,
they'll grab realty pictures off online there and put them up, and you could rent to own this home for $550 a month. No money down. Like nobody's buying a house for $550 a month. It's just not going to happen.
right?
So at best,
Well,
they're
there's
just trying to
another
steal your information. At worst, they're going to try to get you for some kind of down payment, and you'll never see it again.
there's another one that we actually got caught up in Florida. It's
What's
a
that?
big deal, apparently, because we ran into it multiple times, and we only got caught up in it one time. But it's people that'll post out, rental properties,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to submit your
Right.
application fee with your
Mm-hmm.
application for background and credit check. No credit check happened, no nothing, because we had all our stuff locked down with flagging, and and they just take your
Yeah.
application fee. These guys are just out there taking in 30 to $50 per person that
I,
applies.
I was
You
wondering
know,
about that. I was joking with my wife the other day. I'm like, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to put our house up for rent and charge the $50 application fee with no intent to rent it. Like, I mean, who monitors that? Who does anything about
there's
that?
it,
Who's
there's a whole scam industry in Florida that does
right?
that, and I found this after going through that. And we were just trying to get an apartment for our
Right.
oldest. You know what I mean? And so, it's not uncommon for an application fee with background and credit check. Okay, it's reasonable, but we there's some red flags. Namely, again, no credit check had
Mm,
occurred, right? So there was never even an intent,
nice.
right? So, and we know this because we would have gotten flagged. It
Right. You
would have
would have got a
come if you
ding
tried
for
to do a
the
credit
credit
check.
check. Right.
Well, it would have. It was locked.
Oh, okay.
So when they tried to do it, it would have been, no, sorry, you can't. Can't get to that
We
info.
also so we had a neighbor that was a snowbird. They'd only come down for a couple weeks a year, and the house is vacant most of the rest of the time. They've since sold it now. But we had somebody knock on the door once and say, "Hey, do you know anything about this house?" And I'm like, "What about it?" I'm like, "Oh, we were on this ad on Craigslist or whatever, and it's for sale or for rent for $850 a month." And I'm like, "You're not renting that house. It's like gigantic. It's like 4,500 square feet or something. You're not renting that for $850 a month. It's just not happening." Yeah, somebody's trying
Yeah,
to obviously
yeah. There's
scam them to get the money out of them, and
yeah. There's a lot of
tons of
scams.
them.
People that's been one I think that's fairly recent that I've heard of it. But yeah, exactly. People they're doing it around here
Yeah,
too. They're posting properties for rent that they don't own. They have nothing to
right.
do with, and scamming people out of
Mm-hmm.
money. You know, it's kind of it's a not kind of it's a really
Oh,
crappy thing to
especially
do.
because if you're having to move, most people don't have like extraneous money to put down like for that, so they probably saved
Yep.
up and they got enough for first, last, and security or whatever, and it's probably like close to all that they have, and to give that to somebody and then they're stuck. What are they going to do after that?
Yeah.
So just be very
Not good.
careful. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
verify everything. That's it, right? I mean, look, if it's for rent, even by a private person, it's going to be
Right.
listed somewhere, not just Craigslist or Facebook
Mm-hmm.
Marketplace or something next door. It's going to be listed somewhere.
And you can
You
go
know?
online. It's most places have public records and they have an online thing. You could look up the property and the owner's name and all that stuff and make sure everything jives. And
Yep.
if it doesn't, start
Absolutely.
asking lots of questions.
Yeah. Yep. Or just find a property through a more reliable and trustworthy source like a realtor or an
Right.
agency.
I think a lot of these,
which sucks because they take a cut,
right.
but at the
That's
same
true.
time, you end up in a place that just don't get scammed. But yeah, in general, just do your due diligence. There's almost always a way that you can easily determine if this is factual or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the phone, the email, the text message, oh, you have to do this, or your account's going to be cut off. Hey, pick up the back, call the freaking card company, call your bank and talk to them. You don't just click on links, and no, Microsoft, Apple, none of these people are going to ever freaking contact you and tell you you've got a problem with your computer ever. They don't care. They don't. It's not their business model. They don't have staff for that. They won't. I've been in technology for, I don't know, 30 years. No, they do not do this ever, ever for any purpose. There is never, ever, ever going to be someone from Microsoft that reaches out to you to fix your freaking computer. Not going to happen ever.
Are you sure?
Like if you put in a call, you can pay for a support call and you might get a call back after you've paid, etc. But they're not going to call you out of the blue and go, "Oh, we've detected your computer has a virus." Bullshit. No, they don't care, dude. Not even the antivirus company is going to call you for that. Period.
We don't even answer the phone. If it's important, they'll leave a message.
Yeah. I wish I could, right? If my work unfortunately requires that I answer the phone at least during business hours, and even after hours, because we, sometimes stuff has to get done. But most of the people that I interact with, I have their numbers, etc. But yeah, every once in a while, I still get the random call, and it's just like, click, done.
Nice.
No time for you or your shenanigans.
Nice.
Although sometimes I have ruthlessly fucked with those people.
I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I don't have the patience for that.
I was bored, and I got a call from one of these people. I'm from Microsoft, and your computer, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh no, really? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? And they're like, okay, go get in front of your computer. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, turn it on. Or they're like, okay, go to this website. And I'm like, well, there's no web page. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, there's no web page. You told me that I should just go to my computer, but there's no web page. And they're like, well, is your screen on? I'm like, no. They're like, well, you have to turn it on. I'm like, oh, okay. So give me a few minutes, and then I turn it on. And then after a while, I'm like, well, it says a web page cannot be loaded, and they're like, what, what's going on? I'm like, oh, my internet's not working. Well, how do I fix that? And then, okay, a few minutes, let me reboot the router and blah, blah, blah. I just string them along. Yeah. Well, the more time they're spending with me, the less time they have to deal with someone else. So, it's just like, the guy got so frustrated at one point.
Did he yell at you eventually?
Yeah, it was awesome too. He goes, "Mother bitch," and I was just laughing. I'm like, "Mother bitch, huh?" That's a new one. You guys got to work on your cuss things there. It's just doesn't work.
Well, you ready to sign off on another one for this week? I'm gonna keep your editing at a minimum. I think starting to get up there.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Well, hey, everybody, thank you for giving us a little bit of your time and a little bit of space in your brain for a little bit. Hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, X, as well as on our Telegram channel. Give us a shout, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. If you didn't like us, leave a comment. We love comments. We'll reply to your comment. We reply to every comment pretty much, I think, unless it's like, 10 comments from the same person. And, we probably still reply and like your comment and stuff like that. We enjoy it. It makes it fun for us. And remember, no matter where you are, no matter when you're listening to this, have an amazing
Thanks,
day.
everybody. See you soon.